Hello, this is video forum number 2. So the questions were, what are the most common reasons for a board to discipline a counselor, and what is your personal reaction as you read through this list? My information came from the Texas State Board of Examinees of Marriage and Family Therapist Enforcement Actions. And I decided to take it from this list as I am currently pursuing Masters of Arts in Marriage and Family Therapy. So to answer the questions, the top three sections that I saw were denying clients access of records, confidentiality issues, and crossing professional boundaries. What are some themes you see when you look at the common reasons for board discipline? Again, there was a lot of commonalities between, the access of records, and a lot of the commonalities that I found in the board suggestions as far as the violation were suspension and surrender of licensee. That one was the highest one that I found. Some of my thoughts were, right now, looking at that information, I feel like it's very important for us to understand what the ACA Code of Ethics, as well as our state licensure ethics suggests as far as the types of regulations that we have to follow in order for us to make sure we have the information and the records, keeping the right information and the records correctly, that the Code of Ethics and the state regulations require of us. So what was the behavior that led to the discipline? The behavior was failure to detail reason for denial of records, and also the failure to keep accurate records. And then it goes on to say, identify and share the ACA Code of Ethics and your state code that was violated. And for the case that I chose was from Amarillo, Texas, license number 2470. It is a case with a licensed marriage and family therapist. And this was a there was 3 parts to this case. There was 3 violations. So number 1 was in relation to failure to timely provide client records and failure to detail reasons for the denial. The disciplinary action was 2 years, probated suspension for this. The second violation was relating to failure to obtain proper consent to treat a minor client with failure to keep adequate records. And the disciplinary action for this was a reprimand only. And then the third violation was in relation to record keeping and granting access to patient records, and the disciplinary action for that was probated suspension. The Code of Ethics violated ACA Code B6A, which is creating and maintaining records and documentation. Code B6E, client access to records, where it recommends that you should be allowing clients access to their records. Code B5A, responsibility to clients. Code B5B, B5B, responsibility to parents and legal guardians, because you are dealing with a minor, and therefore you should have gotten consent from parents and legal guardians to begin services. B5C, release of confidential information, and code A to D, the inability to give consent. And this one again refers to the fact that the client was a minor, and therefore there should have been consent before starting services. Some of the codes that were violated from the Texas Code of Ethics, Texas Administrative Code Title 22, Chapter 681, Subchapter C, Rule 681.45. C. A licensee must comply with Texas Health and Safety Code, Chapters 181 and 611, concerning access to mental health records and confidential information. Then Rule 681.41, 681.41Q, for each client, a licensee must keep accurate records. Again, one of the violations was that they were not keeping the correct records. And then E, Rule 681.41E, prior to providing services, the licensee must obtain individual signed informed consent. And again, that refers to the minor situation. So those were some of the violations for the ACA Code of Ethics and the Texas Code of Ethics that relate to the 3 violations for this specific case that I found. So what was the outcome of the board discipline? Again, well, there was a 2-year probated suspension, then the reprimand, and then the disciplinary action for that probated supervision. And then the next question, what does the ACA Code of Ethics and your state codes say about counselor impairment? And according to the ACA Code of Ethics C.2G, counselors must monitor themselves for signs of impairment. They must seek assistance for such problems, and then they must assist colleagues and supervisors in recognizing their own professional impairments. And an article from the ACA Vistas Online, Article 53, called Preventing Counselor Impairment, Vulnerability, Wellness, and Resilience. It stated that impairment does not imply unethical behavior, yet such behavior might occur due to symptoms of impairment. And mentioned also that since counselors are well educated about mental and emotional struggles, and that they are skilled at working with cases on mental illness, that they are not immune to professional impairment, and that they are not less accessible to this, to the struggles of their own struggles. So it did mention that there is a myth out there that because counselors are well versed on and are skilled at dealing with clients with helping clients with mental illness, that they are less susceptible to this type of problem, and they do mention that that is a myth. Then again, the article suggests that there should be a lot of self-monitoring and self-care in order to prevent this. One of the things that the ACA Code of Ethics suggests or mentions actually is that counselors should be taking time and stopping their services to clients while they deal with professional impairment. So this was one of the things that it was mentioned on the ACA Code of Ethics, that if a counselor is dealing with professional impairment, that they should stop their services to clients. Therefore, the last question brings me to this question where it says, what is a question this brings to mind for you? It would be, what type of systems are in place for counselors to receive these services or to deal with professional impairment, because you're going to be stopping services for your clients. Therefore, you're gonna be basically not getting any income, especially if you're you have you're not working in a specific place, but you have your own practice. So what systems are in place in order for a counselor to deal with this? Or does a counselor just have to stop the services and there's actually no systems available, which would put you at a disadvantage, because that would be your source of income. So that's the question that all of this brings to mind. Thank you.